A cautionary tale involving a charity that was robbed by the very person who was supposed to be taking care of it. Here's NBC's Fred Francis.
It was easy for Donald Wyant to steal nearly $8 million from the American Cancer Society's Ohio branch, police say. After all, he controls spending. And while the group got most of the money back, Wyant's scam, prosecutors say, could be a blueprint on fleecing a charity.
He started little by little, taking money and doing things wrong, but he could have worked it out. Instead, he went over edge.
Wyant pleaded guilty to 4 felonies, including setting up fake companies at mailrooms to bill for bogus work, getting credit cards using names of society employees, secretly transferring $7 million to his Austrian bank.
We believe that Mr. Wyant was the initiator of the fraud and is clearly the kingfish in the scope of this nearly $8 million fraud scheme.
Incredibly, Wyant did it even after his bookkeeper, Charlotte Doster, was caught stealing $150,000, and controls were not tightened. She pled guilty.
This should have raised a giant red flag for Don McClure and the board of directors.
Don McClure was Wyant's boss.
He was able to circumvent the controls that we had and do it in such a way that an experienced con man can do that without being detected.
Critics say the charity should have been more vigilant. Wyant was spending way beyond his means. He admits to leasing a car with charity funds, planting 3 dozen exotic pear trees in his yard, building an addition onto his home, renting an apartment for his secretary. Wyant was hired to help manage the charity, even though he had a criminal record. And even more astonishing, he was not caught because some auditor found him out, but because his wife turned him in. While donors continue to keep supporting the Cancer Society, in recent years there have been similar frauds masterminded by society executives in Nebraska, Louisiana, and New York, none as vast as Wyant's.
Certainly it makes people worry, as it should, but it's too important. What the Cancer Society does for a country is too important not to want to support them.
The charity says criminal and credit checks are now being done on all staff along with an outside audit, but that it's hard to root out men like Dan Wyant who make their living fleecing America. Fred Francis, NBC News, Washington.